I can't hear you. Are you speaking?
Yeah, I can't hear her either. She's on mute.
Okay. I can't hear you. Nope.
She looks beautiful, but we can't hear her.
I know, right?
You look beautiful too.
I
I
know.
like it.
You look beautiful.
You look at her making the pouty face.
You can hear us, but we can't hear you, huh?
Are you on mute?
No?
Maybe she should log out, log back in.
Okay. Hey, how you
Hey, look at that.
doing? What you got? What you got? What was that? What was that?
One of our new additions to our boutique. Can you see it? I don't know if my lighting is good, but
What is
it's
it? I'm trying to see. Oh, that is so cute. I like it.
it's a
Huh?
soul sis.
I know, right? It's cute. I like it.
Thank you. Can you hear her?
No,
Uh-oh.
no technical difficulties. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Thank God.
We
Thank
always
God
do.
for olive green today. In case the viewers can hear and see us. You got your
That's,
olive green today.
I know, right? The olive green. Look,
You you,
right.
you look
That's
like you
the
come.
manifesting that wealth.
Oh, you look like olive green that comes from a political and legal background. I have green.
I like it. That's a nice color on you. Very
Thank
good.
you. Likewise.
Thank you.
So go ahead and we can introduce the podcast and get started while she continues with her technical difficulties. So Dee, I think you should do a great grand introduction and then I'll tag on to whatever you say.
It will be my pleasure. It will be my pleasure. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soul Sis podcast. I am Dee. Also, my government name is Dominitris. Thank you for joining us today. Go ahead.
And I am Carla of King's Clothing. She moves transport. And I'm one of the soul sisters.
Come on. We are the Soul Sisters.
Oh,
Yes.
she's going to vocally joining us soon. She's already visually joining us. Do you want to tell us the topic for today?
Absolutely. So, the topic for today is basically. Oh, wait, let me get that up for you guys because this is going to be fun, interesting, um, and real. So be patient with us, as you all can only imagine. So, the topic for today is going to be basically about dating, healing, or staying single. So please join the conversation, rather it's via Facebook, the YouTube channel, and feel free to leave your comments. We do want this to be an engagement conversation. So join this conversation because it's been very interesting for all three of us doing this transition in our journey. Um, yeah, this should be fun.
Very interesting.
Yes, to say the least. To say the least. Yes, it has. Go ahead, Carla. Would you like to provide some input on that?
Let's talk about it. It says dating, healing, and staying single. I just kind of generalize in my perspective. Dating, of course, is like going out, talking, whether it's brunch or friend dates, even women and men, women, dating during this season. I would say healing is just you know coming out of whatever situation, ship, whatever whatever ship or relationship or marriage that anybody is going through, including us. So that healing time to just, mend some of the wounds that we have because we've been in a relationship, whether toxic or not. I would say staying single is just what it is. Staying single, not being in a romantic relationship, or staying single can be just not having a serious commitment, such as marriage, or like being in a non-dating relationship, I would say. So dating is actually going out, getting to know the person, being involved with them romantically in other ways. Healing is just healing, whether it's the counseling, the therapy, the church, whatever it is that allows you to heal, yoga, you know, I don't know, girls' night is healing for me.
Mm.
Just being social. So I would say that, and then of course staying single. So what are your thoughts about the three words specifically?
Oh wow. So I definitely agree with everything you just said. I do want to add on, the solo dates as well, because I'm big on solo
Yes.
dates. So I do want to add that onto it. But I do definitely agree. And sometimes also that talking phase, because a lot of people don't believe in having like the opposite sex as a friend. So I do have male friends as well. And it seems like I have better relationships with male partners. Me and you actually had conversations about that.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, so I do firmly believe in that as well, because I have my male cousins as well. They're like brothers to me. So I feel like I have better relationships with my male cousins than my female cousins. I love all my cousins. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, don't attack me. Don't go in my inbox attacking me or calling my phone. Because I love everybody and I love everybody hard. But it seems like even growing up, like I was a tomboy. So it's like, okay, I got along with the guys and they were more relatable as I could speak, directly. But going back to the question with dating, healing, and staying single. And if I could speak directly, I'm really enjoying my singleness.
Mhm.
I tried dating and it's like it's okay. I enjoy the benefits of dating, yes. But I guess being married for what? We were together for
Mhm.
20 years. We were married for
A
21
long.
years, a very long time. So I've been a wife.
Yes.
So anybody asks me
Yeah.
like, "Are you single?" I say I'm divorced, and they're like, "Well, excuse me." Well, it's the truth. I am divorced. So I've honed that title as a wife because I was a wife. I
Mhm.
can confidently say I was a wife for over a decade, 20 years. Um,
Mhm.
so I still have that characteristics as a wife. So it's almost like even when I date, I don't know how I still have that nurturing. I don't know how to turn out. I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
I love too hard, I fall too hard, and I'm a hopeless romantic. So it's like, how do I separate the two? Like, especially when somebody like, they feeling
Mhm.
me, So it's like, you know what? I think we should be friends. Or I already know how to like turn it off. Like, you know what? This ain't gonna work because I'm not gonna tolerate this. I'm not gonna tolerate that. I don't want this. No, I'm not the woman for you. I know how to turn it off really quick. Like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. I'm
Right.
not her. Um, so that's why I say I'm enjoying the singleness. And I enjoy my peace. So I
Yes.
was
Absolutely.
I was doom strolling yesterday night and on TikTok, and there was something I came across, and it was saying, "Do I want to get married again, or do I want a boyfriend, or do I want a boyfriend and we stay in separate places and we see each other when it's convenient?" And I find humor in that because that's like the weird space that I'm in.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, because I've let me say what I won't do versus what. So I'll put all my business because everybody want to know. I'm enjoying the healing. I'm definitely enjoying the healing. Of course, I was. I say legally married over 20 years. Most people don't even know I'm no longer a wife. So I'm still, as I say, guiding myself through that process, because I would consider myself like a public figure or somebody who, was in a big circle of leaders. Staying single is what I'm opting to do at this point in time. I think that may be intertwined with dating because, I've had dinner and lunch and things of that
Yeah.
nature, whether it's business or just because I have a liking to the individual. But the reality is, I'm really enjoying the healing time because, I've heard this expression, or I read it on Pinterest, that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
That spoke to me because if I'm still hurt as I was when I got married, as I was when I got a divorce, as I was through my marriage, then I hurt the individual I'm with. And I'm not going to sit here and be that wife that was a wife for as long as I was and had as many children as I had, because I had over five, had foster kids, so on and so forth. And the reality is, when I entered my marriage, I was leaving a relationship where I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I really fan, and I've talked to you about that, one on one. I don't talk to many people about it, but I think my first session of healing and being brokenhearted was by my father. You know, my father came to live with me during COVID, and he treated me like the queen that I know I am, and I should, behave like. It was just, he was absent from my life. And I feel like in my marriage, a lot of what I saw was, absenteeism, because when we're in ministry, we service and we help everybody in the community, the church folk, kin folk, every folk. And then, you sometimes feel like you're suffocating in loneliness. And I was that wife that didn't vocalize it. I'm talking about it now because I am healing. I am aware of how I felt. So, I'm really trying to soak in and absorb the healing, because I'm not going to be good to the person I had all these kids with, that was my husband, or anybody who I ever consider in the future. And you see how I put that, because right now, is there somebody interested? Yes. Is there other people that would want to know, inquire? Of course. We're amazing, beautiful, unique business women. And that's all great. And it's captivating. And the reality of sits in is, I'm gonna be 50. I want to be able to sit next to somebody when I'm older in a rocking chair, you know, and be able to talk about the good old days. Now the reality is, if you can't be enslaved to that individual, you can't be walking around in this bed of lies where you're supposed to be happy and you're just
Mhm.
not. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
Absolutely.
it's really the healing part. That's where I'm just like, I'm falling in love with myself, with my uniqueness, with my uncommon traits, being mixed, or speaking a different way, or talking fast, or just being very excited about talking and using my hands. So like, things that I know about myself that are making me feel more confident about who I am, my body type, the way I think, the way I operate, my disabilities. So the healing process, although it's been a short time of healing, I think we go through healing sessions and seasons in our life. So for me, when it comes to dating, healing, staying single, I am opting to stay single. I have interest in individuals, or in an individual, but at the same time, I know I'm not there to try to make any kind of commitment. The reality is, it's like we were married forever and a day, and it just feels weird. Like you said, we mentioned, it's just like trying to date and get to know and understand their family dynamics. That's, you got to understand that. Then I have my own family dynamics. I still have businesses that I operate with my former husband. I still have kids that we share. So I'm still trying to understand how that's going to work with anybody else in the picture, no matter how I feel about them. So that's why I'm choosing to stay single and still
Mhm.
healing. I've understood that there's things that childhood trauma has impacted and affected me even today at almost 50. So I would say I'm between that healing and staying single stage right now.
Yeah. So
Back.
even with
Yeah.
that decision to stay single, right? And processing and unpacking that, um, do you think, like, if someone come along and they like check off all the boxes, would you change your mind?
Mhm.
I'm just asking, I'm just
You
curious, like,
the I can really honestly, earnestly say no, because
Okay.
how to say this, when I got married, he checked off all the boxes. You
Mhm.
know, he was never married. I was never married. He was a working man. I was a working woman. I mean, he never had kids. There was certain check marks. He was an educated man. There were certain specific. He was a Christian man. He is a Christian man. So there's a lot of attributes that I did. He had to check off. I was that girl that had a journal. I had the square boxes. Check,
Yes.
check, check, check. And I'm in my 20s checking everything off. But the reality is that I was raised in a very religious, strong Latin American household, and there were certain expectations and that nature that were, I would just say cemented into my mind and my heart. So that better to get married than to get burned. That was something that I think drove a lot of my decision. People, well, this and that purity or whatever. The reality is, if you're in a relationship with someone, and you're feeling some kind of way, what it's not spiritual and the carnal and whatnot. We just being real. The reality is
Mhm.
there's certain things that choose who you're going to be with. And then of course me being a church girl, I'm like, hey, he's a PK, that's great. So there were certain attributes that check off, and I feel like now they check off. I can still say, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready because the reality is I'm still healing. I'm still understanding things that I should have probably known before I said I do, and even while I said I do, and even after I said I don't, that I need to understand about myself and heal. So I think for me, it's like it's not checking off. It's just I really feel numb. I feel like I go through the motions of trying to get to know somebody and understand them, and then it's like 52 red flags pop up in my mind. That imposter syndrome, as people talk about, it's not there, but it's there, or it's been
Yeah,
there.
I
So
get
it's
it.
like overthinking it. It's like just in all aspects. So in all aspects, it's just for me, checking off the boxes has never been the issue. It's really been the reality that I really enjoy being a single woman. I'm okay with coming home to this unofficial empty house, to figuring out when the kids are going to be with me or when they're going to be with dad, to help my daughter, guide her through the college life, through the dating scene and the not being married, So for me, it's like I'm enjoying the time that I'm able to just focus on one me, which I've been devoted to everybody else for over 20 years. Before I got married, I was devoted to my mother, to my siblings. I'm the oldest. So checking off the box, I could say checking off the box, that could easily happen. It's almost like swipe left. If he has, you go through that list, he's 5'7", he's 6 feet, he's chocolate skin and all that. Those boxes can get checked off visually, but in the spiritual, you got to be ready for it. So for me, would they? Yeah, they could maybe in the future, in the near future, possibly. But for right now, checking off the boxes is not an option because I don't check off the boxes for myself, and that's where I'm
Mm.
at. It's like I still feel and feel confident in who I am and what I'm doing. And I have to enjoy. When I was a single woman, I couldn't wait till the day I become a wife and take care of someone else. And the minute I started to do that, it gave me 5 years, and then I was like, it was about everybody else and everyone else. Now you're a mom, and now you don't finish your degree. Then you're a mom, and you don't have time to even use the bathroom. You can't even shower. You can't wash your hair. Then they get older. Now they have all their issues going on. Now you got to mentally and physically be involved in what they're doing. So it's like forget combing your hair. Now you just put a ponytail on. So for me, I'm staying single. I'm gonna enjoy that time, and continue to grow from that point.
Yeah, I agree with. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying in terms of your commitment to your family while you were
Yeah,
married, because I get it. I share
yeah,
that with you because that was life. We
yeah,
fully
yeah.
committed ourselves as a wife, as a mother. Even picking on a career. Because I had my career. I was a student. I was a wife. I was a mother. I was also volunteering my time as well. So it's like I had all these roles, and that's how I ended up, having a stroke back in 2017. So burnout was real, for me. So I understand that. So I understand now. You're like, okay, let me enjoy the singleness. I need to put this
Yeah,
time and effort in myself now. So I
yeah,
get it, and that's why I said, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this
yeah,
time by myself. Like I don't have to answer nobody. I don't have to accommodate no one. Like I get to watch what I
Yeah.
want to watch. I get to eat what I want to eat. You know, everything is on my
You could
time. With the exception of handling my business. Making sure everything is in
yes.
alignment. Of course, budgeting, taking care of the things I need to take care of.
Yeah.
And I don't mean
Yeah.
to sound selfish because it's not about being selfish, but it's more so now re-identifying who I am and re-identifying what life looks now for me as an individual, not as a married woman, but and not as mom. I'm still a mom. My kids are adults now. I will always be mom. However, it looks
Mhm.
different now because they're not kids no more. They're identifying themselves as adults now. They still need me, but in a different way. Um, so that's another lens I also have to look at life. Um, so it's like all these things. So I get exactly what you're saying. And that's another reason why I'm processing the single life in a different manner as well. And like you said, it's trauma because even when I was going on dates, I would pick up on things, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Or
Yeah.
something would be said, and I'm like, oh, why you just say that? Or oh, why you just do that? Like, no. And I don't know if it's like quirks in me or like I seen that, I've been there, I'm not going down that road again. It's just certain things I just won't tolerate. Or if I do like somebody, and then it's like they ghost me. And I'm like, damn, no, I'm not about to question my worth because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. You are not about to have me questioning my value or my worth. So if I have to do that with you, it's a no for me. A hell no for
Yeah.
me. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
So
No, look,
hey Jamila, hey Patty. I see the comments in the section.
we're gonna get to the comment in 1 minute, but I want to say this, gracefully, you said one key word, selfish. I'm trying to understand the dynamic that us as women think, married or not, never been married or not,
Hmm.
single, whatever, be dating five other guys, one guy, no guy. Why is it that we think it's okay to devote, dedicate, and sacrifice yourself for 20 years for your family, with or without children, married or not, but then you take 1 year, 2 year, 2 months to realign yourself to fix your crown, and now the term
Hmm.
selfish even comes in. The reality is that we're worthy of caring for ourselves. We start take I mean, our mother takes care of us, we grow up, we become independent, and we're supposed to take care of ourselves. And then as a woman, it says the man who findeth, then he finds you, and now we become a wife. Whether it works out or not, it is what it is. But the reality is that the word selfish shouldn't come up, although it does, you know. And I see, for me, it doesn't come up in my
Hmm.
mind, but I've heard, what, she not raising her kids. Well, he's a dad too. Like, I've invested time just like he's invested time. I've given time. We together had these kids, and together I pray to God in heaven that we can continue to raise our kids together. But the word selfish,
Hmm.
it's like a man can be married and never be present, but financially always be there, and that's not selfish. But we decide to
Hmm.
take, even in the marriage, decide to take care of yourself and go and start doing podcasts and public speaking and going out and be an author. Now you're being selfish because the kids lack for something that, if we're the helpmate, I'm trying to understand where the dad or the father, the husband, doesn't pop in and have equal or more responsibility. It's more than just a financial, because nowadays it's 2020. We're
Huh.
shattering the glass
Don't
ceiling.
even
We
context of
what?
selfish.
I second that one. I've been enjoying your
Selfish. That doesn't
podcast.
apply to so with
We
me,
are
I'm
just
a nurturer, I'm a caregiver. So with that being said, you can use it in your context, I'm using it in my context. So me, when I use the word selfish, I'm talking about a whole like give capacity. So when I give, I'm like, okay, hopefully I'm not giving or pouring from like, hey, I'm utilizing from the context of like, okay, I'm pouring from a different cup now. So let me pour
from
from
a
a
self.
cup where I don't feel.
You're self.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
selfless, not self.
selfless, selfless. Yes, there you
Yes.
go. So now, and now I'm also pouring from where I'm not looking at somebody else's cup. So whatever they do, that's their capacity. I'm only pouring and looking from my capacity. What other people do, that's none of my business. They're going to have to
Right.
answer to. They're our kids and God. I don't care what people do. That's none of my business. I'm not checking
That's
off
right.
your list of what you're doing or what you're not doing. I'm only concerned what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I'm not looking to be performative. I'm not looking at none of that. I'm looking at what I can do and what I've done already.
Agree. Laura, what
Yeah.
you think about dating
Woo!
single?
I was enjoying. I was listening to you guys as I was getting my technical difficulties situated. It was just some simple. I had a button on this laptop that was unclicked, and anyways, I'm here now. But I got to
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
enjoy the first
Welcome.
half. Now, what are we talking about here? I really,
So we're
really, I mean,
talking about dating, healing, and staying single. And so far, we both agreed
ooh,
about staying
ooh,
single.
ooh,
And in
ooh.
that capacity, the reason why.
Oh my goodness. And then the reason why you said,
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So
yes,
definition of dating, healing, and staying single?
yes.
Is it verses or how they connect? So we just gave our definitions of what dating is in our mind
Mhm,
or in our life, healing and
mhm.
staying single, and then
Can
you
all
choose.
three be simultaneously together, dating all three? Like you can heal while you're
Yes, you
dating.
can. Yes, you
You can
can.
still feel single because you're still handling everything by yourself. So you're not really like to, I guess in my case, the all three. I feel like, because in a sense, you are kind of still, I mean, in a sense, you are still kind of single because, like, for me, I'm not married. So I'm, in a sense, still single, still carrying
Mhm,
the load on my own, right? Dating, yes. So, yeah, so I check all three boxes and I'm healing.
mhm.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, all three boxes apply to me. And I just had a pretty interesting post on my feed recently, like today. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that one, but I did. Just mention some things. I brought up some things that was brought to my attention. Apparently, a couple of ladies were. I was a topic of their lunch conversation after church. I don't know if I shared this with you, Dee,
Yeah,
but
you
I
shared
did.
it
Oh,
last week.
okay. Oh, did I share it on this podcast last week?
No,
I
you
felt,
shared it with me personally last
oh,
week.
personally. Okay, yeah. So I guess I was like a topic of conversation, and at a lunch date, or after church lunch with some ladies, and one of somebody I knew was actually in the dinner table, and they shared this with me that somebody, I don't even know if they know me or not, but anyways, either way, they don't know me enough to speak on the topic, right? And so they had mentioned that, oh, did you see that Laura's already moved on? I think she's getting married. So like I'm like, whoa, how did it go from I'm dating to I'm moving on to I'm getting married? And so I guess they had mentioned that and the person that knew me was like, no, I didn't hear that. So basically it's a rumor. So let me dispel that rumor right now. She is not getting married. But, they still went on to mention, oh, that's just too fast, for me to be with someone already since my husband had just passed. It was 6 months after he passed. And so my post today was kind of disrupting the narrative, right? Because it's like, how soon is too soon? How fast is too fast, right? The little did they know, in the 17-year marriage between me and my husband, being together for 20, we had our ups and downs. We had our fair share of separation. So we were separated maybe 3 or 4, even 4 times. Within that 17 years, we've lived separately in different apartments, different townhomes, or whatever. And within a month, he has had moved on and had a girl in his place, like, so in my place. So, what makes it a difference? Are women not allowed to find joy and happiness and move on? And
Mhm.
they celebrate the men. Oh, yeah, he deserves, when a guy finds love again or when he moves on, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, it's double standard sometimes because it's like, oh, I'm so happy for him. Oh, he deserves it. So, like, that brings me to a point when my late husband was alive, when my dad had, when I had mentioned seeing my dad on Facebook because he had moved to Laos, and, he met this, younger woman, and he lives in Laos now. And I had mentioned to my husband, not that I was knocking my dad, I was happy for him. But my late husband immediately got defensive because it was a guy. My dad was a guy, right? Oh, leave that man alone. Let him be happy, is what he told me. Basically to my comment of, oh wow, he has a new girlfriend, because my mom had passed. Same thing. My mom had passed from being sick. Marcelo, my husband, had passed from being sick, but at the time he was alive, he was just like, oh, leave that man alone. He deserves to be happy. All the stuff he's been through, so it's kind of like, okay, well, you're happy for me, right? Because, you stood up for my dad, which I wasn't knocking the fact that my dad moved on. I was just like, oh, look at him, but immediately he went to my dad's defense, like, oh, let that man live, let him be happy, And I was mentioning, yeah, when my mom was alive, would kid around like, oh yeah, when I die, I'm gonna come haunt you. So my late husband, he was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna come haunt you too if you move on. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So like that conversation like really, took place. And so I wanted to just bring transparency and clarity to that, that people don't know what they don't know, right? And so they're just from the outside looking in. So I could care less. So who you are like watching this, be you, do you, live your life, because no one else can live it for you. Nobody knows what you're going through. If you decide to stay single, if you decide to date, if you decide to heal and all of that, you are the one responsible for your own life. Like, no one else is. Because at the end of the day, we came here alone, we're going to leave alone. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is borrowed. Everything else is temporary. Everything else is not attached to us. Our children, our material stuff, our homes, all of that is not going with us. We are it. We're it. So we need to get to know ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to just, find things that make us happy.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
I agree. I just want to say one thing. People assume that you're supposed to look at these. She said, "You." People assume.
What happened?
They assume. You know what happens when you assume? They say.
Yes, I do.
Of right? But the reality is that there's an assumption that when you're a widower,
yeah,
you're supposed to wait 6 years and wither away.
What?
And then you're supposed to. I'm just saying that's what it got to be, because if she finds
that is the assumption. That is, they're just supposed to just crawl into the corner somewhere and then just not live, right?
That's a lie. No.
Yeah, that's
probably where they're.
My mom is a widow, and no.
I'm just saying that maybe that's what they was thinking. I was just saying they assume that a person's supposed to, just wither away and isolate themselves, because that's misery loves company. So they have to say what they say and do what they do. At the end of the day, God is the great judge. He decides what's happening or not happening. As for me and my relationship, I was separated. People didn't know for 8 years of that 20 plus marriage. We lived in separate.
Right. Exactly.
Well. And
exactly.
I heard.
Didn't you say somebody was crying or something too?
But you know what I say to all of that? If you don't have critics or anybody talking negative about you, you're not doing something right. Okay,
I must be doing something right.
Rather if it's the truth, rather it's a lie. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it at this point. And I told the same thing to my daughter the other day. If people got something negative to say, rather it's the truth or a lie, even if it's a smear campaign, people gonna talk about you when you're dead and gone. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Let people talk. Yes. That's all. I don't got time to entertain stuff no more. Because you gotta live. If you're gonna stop what you're doing to address things,
right,
you're gonna be stressed out, high blood pressure and everything. I'm sorry. Excuse me what I'm about to say. Fuck them people. In the name of Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm so over it. 2026. I'm over people and they mess and they drama.
Hey, listen.
Welcome to Soul podcast. We get right to the soul, the nitty-gritty.
I'm so over people and they mess, they rumors, they gossiping. Man.
You know, it's like, you know, let's normalize good gossip, you know, and don't get me wrong, there are people who are out there having good gossip, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for her, you know, she found love, you know, so I love that.
My name in rooms, if you got money involved or you got something positive to say about me, then then it's worth it. Other than that, fuck them people. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care if you relative or not. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
Because they're not gonna address it to you face to face.
Then you.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Okay.
Ain't no guys up in here. There's only girls.
So for you ladies, for my soul sis, okay, I have a question. So, what have your last relationship taught you?
Oh, take care of yourself.
Yes, and make sure the person you're with love you more than you love them.
Okay, Marty said her mom was a widower at 34, and she had 2 babies and moved on. Okay. She said move on.
Oh, we got some extra Dakota watching us.
Got a lot of comments coming up.
Hey, ladies. North Dakota in his house. Hey, Michelle. We got Mari. We got Michelle. We got Jamila. We got Travel Service. Must be Mari. Must be Mari. Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, that's what my last relationship taught me. Make sure the next person I'm with loves me more than I love them, and is attractive to me more than I'm attracted to them, and gives more to me than I give to them.
Yes.
And don't play about me. Don't play about me. They got me.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how I know that person is going to be the person for me. They ain't going to play about me. They're going to have my back. That's it.
How about you, Carla?
I ain't going to have to ask for it. And I ain't going to have to ask for it. It's going to be evident. Ain't going to be no words. It's just going to be action.
Absolutely. Don't play about you or I'll come after them. Hey, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Don't play with my I will come after you.
No, and healthy, not obsessive. No. I don't want no stalker.
Moderate.
What's up, Carlota? You sound like you want to say something, Carlota.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Come on, Kathy.
Look, I'll be blowing up my phone. Be like, hey, I am busy. I have to work for a living. I have my
Look, that's why I say healthy. It got to be healthy, and also support everything we do, and it's a sponsor. And give me my space. Don't be. I don't need nobody suffocating me either. Like, hey,
nope.
Let baby do what she need to do. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Who else? Carlota.
I would say in my future life, not my future life, in my next life. No, never mind. If I was telling somebody who wanted to get married after a long-term divorce, because I'm staying single, I would suggest that
The question is, what did you learn about your last marriage?
Oh my goodness, look at Paul. Look at yourself.
I learned that I have to communicate my needs, my wants, my desires, and I learned that I need to execute and actually make it tangible, make it like, if I wanted to write a book, which I did and I have, I should have vocalized that to him, whether he had supported it, agree with it or not. I wanted to open up the retail, the boutique side. He 100% supported that financially and physically. I just think that I waited so long to do some of the things that have been in my heart of hearts, as they say, from the 20s to the 40s to almost the 50s. And I just didn't do what I wanted to do for many, many Oh, yes.
Can I
Yes.
play
Yes.
devil's advocate?
Okay,
Why?
go ahead.
Why? Why?
He was busy raising 5 kids.
No, not why because you were busy raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, since we're in this next phase,
Mm-hmm.
and we help our former husbands to be the men that they are now. So why do we
Mm-hmm.
have to ask or get ask permission to be the women that we wanted to be? We shouldn't have to
Because we're
ask them. They didn't ask us to be the men that they are today. I'm sorry,
we're being.
excuse me, audience, but we didn't ask them permission to help them to be the man that they are today.
Mhm.
Did you
Very
say you
true.
had permission? You had to vocalize what you wanted?
When you're in a controlled environment, we're not gonna sit there
There we
and
go.
let's
Yep.
just be.
No, I'm not,
We're,
and I'm not asking a question because I'm trying to be funny. But
I
no,
know.
I just want to, you even with you, vocalizing this, the
Mhm.
next man that come along, I'm gonna speak this into existence right now. You ain't gonna have to
hey,
ask. You're gonna make sure that
hey,
it's presented to you. He gonna be like, baby, what
yes,
you need, what you want. You ain't gonna be like, I want this. You gonna what can I do? He gonna speak that into you, baby.
yes.
I'm just gonna tell you.
You,
I'm
you,
sorry.
you. Hey, I must get some water, and sprinkle it on you in a minute.
I'm just saying because no,
No, you're
we
right.
have
No,
enough
you're
of
right.
people playing in our face. Like, no, that's why I asked that
Yeah.
question. Like,
No,
no,
you.
that's why I'm still single because I'm like, you ain't about to keep on playing in my face. Like, no, you blocked. No, I ain't talking to you no more. I'm sorry. Like,
No comment.
no,
Yeah,
God, is these the
yeah,
men you created for us? No.
yeah. You know what? And the harsh reality that they say all men are like, well, women are
No,
not
they're
like, so
not.
that's
No, they're not. It's men out there that are good men.
no,
So
and
no.
I get it. What I'm starting to understand is that there is no perfect man. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is still grass on the other side. It's how we mold, how we shape our relationship, our marriage. I mean, the whole going out one on one, dating as we dated when we first met and married, before we had all the kids and all the responsibilities and all the accountability to everybody else in the world, everybody else in ministry, everybody else in business. We didn't mind them back there. And I really believe that was the demise, of what we were building. I believe we were
Mhm.
building an empire. And
Yeah.
and now we're half doing it because we're so distracted, so far away from
Oh my
what we could
goodness.
have done. The reality is that that relationship, it's got to be real. It's like you've got to build. And I heard Tamala Mann and her husband of almost 40-year marriage talking about how she take her bonnet off before they together in the middle of the night. You would think after 40
Yeah,
years, it's
that
like
was a
this is
good
what the
one.
bonnet. But she said it. I don't go to sleep with a bonnet, and if it's a night that I might have to wear a bonnet because I have to do my hair and be ready for whatever. She's like, I take up this little things, details that we know. If you was dating a guy right now, dating is one of the words right there that
Mm-hmm.
good, but go to sleep with no bonnet. We gonna sweat the hair out. It's gonna get frizzy. Excuse my
And
frizzy
you
hair,
gotta do it
but
all
I'm
over again in the morning.
yeah, you got to redo it. Lord, be on task now. The reality is that we operate a
I got
certain way when
my
we're dating.
popcorn. I'm watching your story.
I say we are when we're dating an individual, whether we married them or not, or swipe left to the next, or swipe left to no one else.
What app
We
are you
literally
on? You just told your secret.
no. Tell me what app you was trying to get me on.
I was trying to
You
get
got
you on
to
Facebook dating app. I was. I
you
was. I
swipe
was trying to
left
get
and
Facebook.
right.
I was swipe left. I was swipe right, and then I was like, you know what? Let me remove this app because it's a lot of creeps out there, y'all. It's a lot of creeps. I got it.
I'm like,
I have 500 people.
Swipe,
I have
swipe
500
left.
people, 500 men, and I was like,
Listen,
damn. Let me
between
get
the filters and all the lies that they're putting on their
come
details.
on.
I'm not on the dating app. I'm old school, very old school. I need to meet you, see you at a store or a grocery place or Home Depot, wherever the spots are. Home Depot, Best Buy, that might be two good places. But nevertheless, nevertheless,
Go to Home Depot, y'all. Y'all heard what she said.
So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the men are not perfect, and you might meet a person that's imperfect, and we are perfectly imperfect as women,
Yes.
and you marry the two concepts, and you can make something perfect out of that. But the reality is, we change, we evolve as women. I have evolved. I'm not the same,
Right.
naive, you know pushover. What's the word that is, when you're in a relationship, like, what I'm saying, like, I'm not the one that's going to be pushed over. I wasn't at that time, and I realized I got married. Let me be submissive, and submissive became me saying nothing about nothing, even just basic thoughts, and then it was like everything else got added onto it. And at the end of the day, I'm a vocal
Mhm.
person. I am daddy, and I have my own thoughts since I was probably 4. I told my mama, what you said. It was like, she
Yep.
thought I put my hand.
Asking questions
He was
left
like,
and right.
yeah. So the reality is, you are who you are as an individual. You should be able to be watered and to be able to blossom into the woman that we have become today. And we know, I can say I'm not the same woman I was when I first got married, even when I ended up
Mhm.
not being married. Who I am this very second, I'm evolving every day, every hour, every moment. I have different seasons of my
Mhm.
life. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to fault him. He has plenty of his own thoughts that he can think about and say about. But the reality is, for me, I'm taking care of building myself up, because I still got my kids to see and watch
Yeah.
who I become. I
Exactly.
do
Exactly.
to build our
Yeah, I
generational
definitely.
wealth, our generational, future. So I say, single, dating, healing or not, I still got 5 lives I brought into this world, which 3 of them are almost adults. So I'm not an empty nester. I can't be like, oh, California,
Right.
here I come. I still very present in their lives. So at the end of the day, I feel numb a lot of times when it comes to pursuing a relationship. I feel
Mhm.
void. The echo of loneliness really comes about when I'm talking or considering being in a relationship. But at the end of the day, my first love is God. That was when it was when I was a teenager. I was in college, and I'm just going to move through this season. I'm not saying I would be single forever, because I don't want to be single forever. But I will
Mhm.
say that I'm staying single and healing.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Mic drop.
Let's read.
Woo, 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 woo.
Mm-mm.
We
So
I
that did
see that.
we touched on the last relationship, what it taught us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. So what's the next one? Okay, so
What's the next one? What you
What
got? What you got?
What does some of the comments say? Because these people are chiming in big time.
I know. So, but they got the popcorn out. They got the
It's a
popcorn
little.
out.
It says
Yes,
cheers.
ma'am.
It's
I think
water.
for
Don't.
me, you know, um, just relationship in general um, is work. Is complicating. And I don't know. It's got to be at the end of the day. We us ourselves. We have to make ourselves happy, and we have to do us first, right? And then we have to put ourselves first, and encourage whoever we are with to get their healing and put themselves first as well, because you're only better as a whole when you're both healed, right? When you're both a whole, then you can be two people together, right? Instead of missing pieces. You have to be able to uplift that other person if you choose the route of being in a relationship, right? And I feel like, being with someone for almost 2 decades, in my case, we kind of grew up together, right? And so all of our like you too, like probably too, right? And so it's kind of like we married our past trauma together, right? And so we're both coming into the relationship with what we carried, into the relationship, all the unhealed things that we had endured in our lives. And now we are trying to coexist in that relationship. And, I don't believe there's no perfect marriage out there. It's got to take work. You have to both be willing to put in the work and be able to work on it. And like I had mentioned, in our case, there was so many times we had split up, so many times I've had retained lawyers for divorce. A couple of times I had paid to retain a lawyer, and somehow or another, we end up back together, whatever the case is, whatever the reasoning was. And, mostly it boils down to the comfort, right? And the kids and the what we've built together that we weren't willing to both let go of. And so we were more like, if I can be transparent, we were more like friends and good friends, right? Like besties, right? Like we were able to talk about a lot of things, and there was love there.
Mhm.
But can I say the part of the intimacy or the romance or the being in love, it definitely was missing, and I will be sharing a little bit more about my journey in every aspect of my life, the hurt, the trauma, the things, the scars, right? My book, Empowered Purpose, which will be releasing, which will be pre-ordering next month for International Women's History Month. You guys can pre-order the book, but this book is going to take you in the journey through my life as a child, as being born homeless, as growing up in refugee parenthood, and every single thing that tried to knock me down. That's why my subtitle is I'm built from the scars that tried to break me. And which is true. Like, I feel like everything that had tried to break me has made me and molded me into who I am today. So it's almost like I'm numb to the fact of anything else that's going to happen or anything else that's going to hit me. I'm numb to it because I've been hit and I've been through it, and my scars are so hardened that nothing else is going to break me. It may put me down for a minute, but because these scars have so many layers to it, it's almost like my scars are protecting me from what's next. It's almost like it's hardened so much to like protect me, my heart, my soul, my desires, all helping me to protect me from whatever is to come. And so there's no surprises, right? Because we're so used to the cycles that life gives us, and we're so used to that. And so that's why I believe the three of us have so much in common, because we've all experienced similar things where we've just kept getting knocked down, we kept bleeding, we kept scarring, I'm bruising, we kept them, and then our scars, our wounds heal, and they're hardened for the next hardened ones, for the next, and so it's almost like, hey, I'm unbreakable. I'm
There we go.
unbreakable. I'm a diamond. I'm a rose.
Yep,
So
and
it's
that's what happened. A diamond under pressure.
exactly. And so I feel like, that relationship has taught me a lot, right? And sometimes, you question. Sometimes I'm sure each one of you, like, what was it that made us stay for so long, right? And so sometimes it's just there's no answer to that. We just stayed because that was just the right thing to do, or it was just right for the moment or whatnot, right? And so now I
That's
feel
where
like,
it's supposed to be at.
and Carlotta had mentioned the whole control thing, right, during the relationship or during her relationship and stuff. And so, I had a similar situation where it was somewhat controlled. And so I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you seem so vibrant now, like you're glowing, like you're free. And to a certain extent, it is true, because I'm learning who I am, and I'm learning what Pawn likes, what Pawn loves, what I enjoy, because during that time, because sometimes you do end up with someone who, whatever their insecurities are, you're carrying that with you. Whatever scars they endured, abandonment, or whatever scars that had entailed and had installed in them, it carries on, and it's not, they're not doing it on purpose. That's all they know. And so
Yeah.
there's this fear and this trauma and this thing that's inside of them that carries on to you. And now you are that person that is also witnessing the trauma, the hurt that they're going through, because they're going through that insecurity, that fear of abandonment. So then it comes out in a form of control, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, and it's like, hi, Miss Cynthia, I know, Cynthia. So, it
Yeah,
comes.
and it's like the limitation too. It's that fear, it's that limitation, it's that
Yes,
rejection, it's that
absolutely.
abandonment. It's all of it,
Mhm.
and it's like the odds are stacked against you
Mhm.
because even when you're in it, it's like
Yeah.
you can't get out of it, and it's almost like you're
Yeah.
drowning.
Well, and like,
Yeah.
and like one of the things, huh?
I said, "Oh, you're
And we
suffocating."
all
She said,
carry
"Drown."
that into the relationship, right? And it's like, with my late husband, he had a rough childhood. He grew up, in the inner cities of Detroit. Mama was she was on drugs. She was
Yeah.
married to a drug dealer. She eventually passed away from brain aneurysm. And, and this is what he shared with me, and so, I feel like his side is, he feels like he has to control. In his mind, it's not controlling me. It's more so comes out that way because maybe when he was younger, he didn't have
Hmm.
that control because he was abandoned and people left him at home by himself. He was, and this and that and this and that, whatever the case, And so, yeah, you are in the chains with them, Miss Cynthia. I'm still waiting for your platform. Come on, we got to build that. You got to share your beautiful testimony on your story too, Miss Cynthia. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Waiting.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. But yeah, we end up tied to their chain unintentionally. Maybe it's not intentional. And so it's unintentionally we're tied to
Hmm.
whoever we're with.
But
And,
you don't even see that.
hmm?
You don't see it while you're in it. You're blinded. And it reminds me of you probably know Eve's song, Love is Blind. Love is Blind by
Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah. And
When
I
you take
remember,
over your mind, what you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate and find
yeah,
love is
and
blind.
then I remember, yeah, she said, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I remember just recently,
Yeah.
before he was, I think it was right before he was even diagnosed with the cancer. Me and two other girlfriends, we were out in our front yard of my house. They came over, we are going to do some yoga and stuff like that. And I had my, like, just regular, sports outfit on. And, just, I was covered up. It was just my regular sports outfit. And we were outside, and me and two other girlfriends, and we were on the yard with our mats, about to do some stretches and stuff like that. And he comes out, and then he said to me, "You better not be on social media with that outfit." And it was just a regular, like, it's just a regular gym outfit, but it was like, yeah. He said to, in front of my girls, right in front of my friends that were over. This was the first time they ever heard that side of him, I guess. He was like, "You better not be on social media with that outfit on, go live or whatever." And I was like, "What's wrong with this?" And so, anyways, that's when they saw for the first time,
Mm.
oh, like, Laura's in a controlling relationship. But it's covered because it's covered in disguise under, oh, we have a beautiful marriage. Oh, they're just perfect. Oh, they're on Blasian Soul. You know what I'm saying? So it's disguised as that, but people don't truly know what goes on behind the scenes. And that's why my book is going to be super powerful, because they will know. And so that my girls had experienced them firsthand. He was like, "You better not be on the social media on live with that outfit," or something like that. And then he walks away, and their mouth just swung open, because I turned around because I was a little mad, and I was like, "It's not like we have sex anyways, like, it's not like we intimate anyway. So why does, like," so they were like, "Oh."
So that's
The
so two
silence
situations that happened with me, two different
book,
situations.
yeah. Silence
Yes.
we, yes,
So two
hey, yeah.
situations. So one situation happened when I first met you, Pon. And you remember I went to visit you again after I met you, but because I spent too long with you, he told me that if I continue to go see you in Elgin, that
Oh
he was going
yes,
to leave
yes,
me.
yes. I remember that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we kind of stepped
Threatened
back
to
from
leave me.
the
He told
nonprofit.
me that I had to stop talking to. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But then he started introducing me to his friend group. And you remember I shared with you that I went to go meet his friend group and all the women, how they treated me. They rejected me. They made me feel like an outcast. And let me
Oh
remind
my,
you, this was a group of sisters, black women, like elite black women. And I'm like,
yeah.
why am I being like an outcast? And I told them, I said, I don't feel comfortable here. The way they're mistreating me and handling me. And they were business women. And I was like, okay, I'm not ever coming back here again. This is
Wow.
your group. And then I reached out to you and I shared that moment with you. You remember that? This was like
Mm-hmm.
maybe back in 2022.
Yeah. I was like, why she can't
20,
come
yeah,
in?
about 2022. And I told him,
Wow.
yes, yeah. And he told me, he
You know,
said,
it's
those women don't like you. They don't mean no good. I said, you have not even met them. And look it, he's gone
Yeah.
and I'm still building.
And we're still together. We're still here building and,
Yeah. Yeah, but he was trying to stop it. And he would like speak frustration. He would speak the vision. He would speak a lot of things
yeah,
into
absolutely.
my business.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like really bad. But
Oh yeah.
it would work time and time again. Time
You
and
know
time
why?
again.
Because we are
And
people
it would make me
pleasers.
feel like,
We're people
because I was
pleasers.
like,
And
maybe he's
so
right.
therefore,
Because I love him. I believe him. Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
that's just
because
one part of it, you know?
oh
Uh,
yeah. I mean, it was yeah, it's 20 years of, of this, then I, and it's just like you end up just getting used to it, right? And you end up just
but he
already
had a lot of good
knowing.
qualities, but that's why I believe him. You know, I was like, okay, maybe
No, no,
yeah.
I know, and we pain perpetrates pain. It's true. Hurt, just like hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Pain perpetrates pain. That's right, Miss Cynthia.
Mhm.
And it's so true. And and we just settle. And sometimes I don't know about you, but because we're such people pleasers, we try to avoid things as much as possible. So we already know what their reaction is going to be. So we kind of like play in our head, oh, okay. So if I want to do this, how can I have that conversation for him to be saying yes, for him to say, yes, yes, that's fine. You could do it. And it's like, it was a really tough thing for me because
Mhm.
I left my dad, as you guys know, I was a teenage runaway because I didn't want to listen. So how, as an adult, as a grandma, you want me to listen to you? Tell me what to do. So that was really hard for me, to be able to like, what you mean you didn't condone to me doing that? You don't need your permission. But sometimes, we all like tiptoe, and that seemed like the majority of our fights were because of I want to do something and he wants to control it. So I'd be like, you know what? Where's that lawyer at? Because I'm not about to have my life controlled by nobody. And so, but then, you end up working it
Yeah.
out and you end up, but then does that really help you or hurt you? Because then your kids are seeing this. And then you fear of like what types of relationships
Yes.
they're going to get into, because that's what I'm dealing with right now with, with my girls. They're finding traits and people and things that have, I've been the example for them, and that they have been with the same type of person who has been doing that to them, the whole control or, whatever. And so, it's just one of those
Mm.
things where, it's like,
yeah, it becomes normalized for our children. You know, when you are in a toxic, we're just gonna
mhm,
call it what it is. Call it
mhm,
a domestic violence. You can call it a toxic relationship. You can call it a failed marriage relationship. When you are
mhm,
in a controlled environment, married or not, because we're not gonna just talk to the divorced, the widowers, and the married women in general. when you are in a controlled environment and you can't
Yes.
choose your food, you go across the street without being questioned. You can't come back from a girls' night out because you was out there being promiscuous or sleeping around with other men, and all you was doing was just hanging out with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to come back to all kinds of persecution and things, and your children hear it and see it. What do you tell them? What do you tell your daughter when she does go into a toxic relationship, when she tries to stand up for herself and things? And that's what I'm saying. My thing is, just like the ministers and the preachers and the women pastors and all, you're held accountable for our choices and our actions, good or bad, lies or
Mm-hmm.
not. And it got to the point where I felt hypocritical trying to maintain something that wasn't maintaining me, trying to maintain a relationship that was consuming me, suffocating me,
Mm-hmm.
drowning me, lonely the whole time. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I should have. I feel lonely, and we could have went out and did something. But I tried to do and say certain things. And at the end of the day, whether I was married or not, I'm moving on or whatnot. I know what I invested. I know what I sacrificed. I know what I imparted. How submissive I was, and how publicly I was elevated, and privately we ain't gonna talk about what happened privately
Yes. What is that? Oh, but
because you're not.
but for me,
After a
sometimes
certain,
it was public.
Man. Man.
Sometimes for me, it was public.
You see this.
yeah, now yours was public for sure. For
Oh,
sure,
mine was
public. Yeah.
public
Yes.
sometimes too.
The humiliation is real.
Public humiliation is
Real
public
to the point where it made me, I think,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
you know how many times I got humiliated, and that also like took my voice sometimes. I'm like, I don't even want to say anything. And sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, he got me messed up.
Yeah.
No, I'm tired. But then sometimes I'm like, you know,
He must
I don't have the energy for this.
Sometimes you're just like no energy, but then sometimes you do want to fight back and you do want to argue back, and that's when that's when
Yeah,
the
Nene come out. Look, Nene from Humboldt. Look, Nene from Humboldt comes out. They like Nene.
Oh.
Nene come out.
the gangster con be coming out at time.
look. Lotta be coming out. What?
Put her back. Put her back.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Don't make me unleash the. Hey.
Oh my God. And this ain't like like just so people understand, this ain't a bash season, bash show. It's just
It's not a bash. Because
not
at the end of the day, I was with him for over 23 years.
and we took part in that. We took part in that too. So
yeah. Accountability goes a long way. I just put that on my page. Accountability goes a long way.
Accountability, we're accountable for staying.
Yeah.
Because that's what we felt was the right thing to do, was stay, because of course we did love them, or else we wouldn't have stayed that long, right? But was it right for us, and were the things they were doing right for us? That's a question, right? Did we love them? Yes. Did we stick by their sides till we couldn't do it anymore, or till involuntarily they left? Yes. But had things been different for us, had we walked out sooner rather than later, possibly. And there goes Tia. Where did Carlotta go? Carlotta left.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hell yeah.
Oh, you see it? And we had a chance, and we did leave early on, but something pulled us back. And like, I think it comes really, in my opinion, and I'm not a therapist or I'm not a person to say, but in my experience and what I've learned throughout these years of I'm wondering if it's that whole trauma bonding, right? Because we leave and then we're like, we fiend that, right? Kind of like, because we were somewhat in a domestic violence situation, not to that extreme of, there's different variables, and there's different layers to that, but in a sense, it was more of the nonverbal, nonviolence or whatever you call it. The because domestic violence doesn't have to be a scars, right? We've determined that it can be verbally abusive. It doesn't have to be physical. So it's more of like the verbally, the control, the this, the that's still domestic violence, So, and it may this may disrupt some
Yeah.
things because
I was
this is
I was
probably
diagnosed with PTSD. I shared that with you. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. And so this may be like a surprise to some people because in a lot of people's eyes, we probably did have the perfect marriage. I know, like with Carlotta being in the ministry, she probably did have the perfect marriage and the perfect family and all of that. They don't, like you said earlier, they don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and so that's the whole thing of it, right? So, but it's okay to,
Yeah.
it happened and it's okay to
No, people
like
only
be,
see what you allow them to say.
and and now I'm ready to share it. And then it's kind of like so I've been through two marriages. You guys have only been through one, right? So I feel like I myself, maybe it's me, right? Like maybe I need to find some healing within me, right? Do some inner healing work, because how do I end up with both marriages kind of similar, right? The first one was filled with adultery, which I was young, it was in my 20s, and so that marriage was toxic as well. There was some controlling, aspects, but it wasn't like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, or you can't do this, you can't do that. But it was, infidelity throughout the marriage, right? All throughout the marriage. And it was short. I was only married for 5 years, but it was still a toxic marriage. So then I am like, okay, I just, I'm done. I'm just like, no. Let me just figure myself out. Let me just learn me, and let me just be married to myself and just, and just do me. And then whoever can supplement that, they do them. They be them, do them, and I be me. And we just, when we're together, we just kick it and have fun, right? But I don't know. I would be hesitant to like, and you can never say never, but for me, I don't know how that would look, right? Because I've had two marriages. I don't think that a third one is in my plans, just because of the experience that I've had. I know they say three times a charm, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna stick around to find out, but you can never tell, what's up ahead. I didn't know I was gonna be married the first time or the second time. So it just happened. So,
Hey, I'm gonna let it flow. We'll see what's in the
We
deck of
have to
cards. We
part
shall
two to this.
see. But for right now,
Look,
I'm claiming my secret and I'm enjoying it right now.
exactly.
What'd you say?
I'll
What'd
be
you
part
say?
of the.
Why are you looking
I
like
said
that?
I'll be
What'd
part.
you say?
Be part of this. I will be part of the bridal party, but I will say this: we're gonna have to have a part two to this 1 hour and 20-minute podcast. We're gonna have to have
I
a part two.
know,
You
right?
know,
Okay,
right? I know this
we
is
gonna park
good. That's
it.
why.
We gonna
But
park it. But yes, you guys got a little glimpse preview of of all of our lives, into all of our lives. So yeah, so we will see you all. Thank you for joining the conversation, Miss Cynthia. I'm ready for you when you are. Let's get your platform going. Let's get you going. Let's get whatever you need from me. I got you, Mari. Thank you, Michelle, Tia, Jamila, everybody, Bree. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, you can feel free to comment, shoot us a text, whatever you want the next episode to be about. We're ready. Let's have that conversation. So, to that note, we are out of here. We've taken a lot of time already
thank
because I had some technical difficulties in the beginning. But we will see you next Sunday, same time, same place. All right.